Welcome to Fast Five, where our four panelists weigh in on 5 separate topics. Ron, an intruder breached the White House grounds and was arrested near the resident entrance. What say you?
He had an appointment with the president.
Okay.
He said so.
Okay.
So he was delivering a letter. I don't know what the mace was for. I guess if there's any dogs running loose or
At least it was
anything
mace
like
instead of a
that.
gun, right?
Yeah. It's a bad thing to get out. I was glad to see the news media not overexpose the guy's name and to make a martyr out of him for what he did. It's pretty hard to even
for his
hear.
15 seconds of fame.
Yeah, for his 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
So,
I think this happens from time to time. It used to happen as college pranks. The penalties are a little bit stiffer than what a college student probably wants at this point. But I would be willing to bet it would be very difficult to get into the White House just hopping a fence.
But you had the same thing with President Obama.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you got to question what's going on there. Is the Secret Service or the Secret Service not exactly having things tied down as tightly as they once did, or is there just that much more effort in people trying to find holes in the wall?
All right.
They found one. They didn't find a hole. They just scaled the fence.
Yeah.
And if you look at some of these guys, what was the guy that time not too awful long ago scaled Trump Tower?
Yeah.
How do you prohibit
Well, we're just going to have
something
to build
like
the wall a little bit bigger.
Right.
that? No, I'm not talking about the ball in Mexico.
All right. Veteran claims that HPD rescinded a job offer because of his post-traumatic stress disorder.
Honestly, I mean, it's kind of hard to say what Hagerstown Police Department did or didn't do. I mean, this is from the veteran's claim, and I would like to believe that the veteran's forthright in what he says. But someone with traumatic stress disorder, I would have a concern possibly serving on the police department, depending on what role that they may be involved with. But without having the nuances of what really took place in the conversation, it's really hard to gauge.
Yeah, since it's a personnel issue, and since the chief knows what happened, what was ever said, what did they uncover that said, well, we're going to give you a job, and then all at once take it back. It's almost like the president offering a job to the Attorney General in New York, and a couple days later took it back. I mean, there's things you find out, things you do that cause something to totally fall apart, and you don't get the job.
And guess what? As the public, we have to realize that not all of those personnel issues can be reported.
Yeah.
So, was it right or was it wrong? I don't know. If it goes to a court, I guess we'll have another opinion in on it. But I have a difficult time thinking that it's, if it's minor PTSD, I have a difficult time let me rephrase that. I have a difficult time believing that our police department would be discriminatory about something that wasn't a valid issue.
Especially a veteran with combat time.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay. Ronald Schwarzenegger dispels rumors about Senate run. He may not be back.
Did you mean Arnold?
Arnold? Yeah, he was looking at you. That's probably why you got confused.
Didn't I say Arnold?
You're beefed up.
No.
What'd I say?
He looked over at me, thought of muscular person. He called me Ronald. He called him Ronald Schwarzenegger.
Did I say Ron? I said
Yeah,
Ronald.
that's all right.
That's good.
Okay.
I mean, everybody get a chuckle
You
out
are
of it.
Ronald,
Yeah.
right? Ronald Schwarzenegger.
Well, I mean, in one stead, that would give a potential Republican from California, loosely.
Huh.
Okay. But on the other stead, based upon the fact that Donald Trump and him are so close.
And so far.
Yes. I don't know if that would be the best thing to have happen in the Beltway circuit. Ron, what's yours?
Some of these things go from being the ridiculous to even more. I mean, Schwarzenegger's done so many things. He was so good at one time they wanted to change the Constitution so he could ultimately run for president. Well, you see what happened to that. So that didn't happen. Schwarzenegger, I think, has had his day. Now he wants to become involved in what? The boundaries and as we move forward and, the boundaries for political parties.
Right.
And he wants to do that, to make sure that boundaries are not done to favor one political party over another. And look over the United States. There's not one of us that our party hasn't gerrymandered
Exactly.
a boundary to favor us.
All right, Utah set to enact nation's lowest threshold for drunk driving.
0.05. I remember Maryland used to have a 0.06
Yeah.
law in the books, which was just basically, listen, you're doing something wrong, we're going to slap you on the
Wrist.
wrist and be wary of it down the road. You get to the point, it works out to be one drink.
Yeah.
It destroys the social atmosphere of part of the reason why people do drink, and not that I'm advocating people going out drinking and driving, but having been in the industry, that's one of the things that I always lobbied against. 0.08, yeah, I can understand that you can have a social drinking, but when you get to 0.05, that really, you swish your mouthwash in the morning, hop behind your car, and the police officer wants you to blow something, you're going to be in trouble.
Just with mouthwash.
Could be.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
It's, I'm one of those persons, I've had to have that breathalyzer test done one time, 2003. It was a 0.19. And to see now where it is and to watch how the problems with alcohol or DUI or DWI, 0.5.
0.05.
Yeah, 0.05.
Yeah. 0.5 would be impressive.
Yeah, it seems.
You're walking, impressive.
It seems as though that's really low. What are they really trying to do? Are they making a religious statement? Are they being realistic in Utah?
Yeah. I mean, that's almost, why not just outlaw
Yeah.
alcohol?
Because they can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the challenge.
All right, last topic. Engineers give U.S. infrastructure a D plus though. Ron?
We did an infrastructure study here in Washington County and found out we are really in pretty decent shape. And now with what's
Except for 81.
81's being fixed. 81, the bridges is being fixed. The infrastructure is far more than just roads. I mean, it gets into your grid for electrical
No,
grid.
I understand that.
It goes into your sewer plants, your water plants. It goes into the bridges. It goes into so many things.
You
and
know a little
we've,
about sewer plants, don't you?
I do. Live
Poor
with a
Ron.
sword, die with a sword, But I tell you what,
Did you say
everybody,
live by the sword or live by the sewer?
Yeah. Maybe it was a bad decision back then. I stood by it. I stand by it today.
And I think history has proven you right.
History vindicated those of us that supported.
Yes, it did.
Men with vision.
Yeah, it worked out well. But our infrastructure in the country, shouldn't we be debating infrastructure instead of the things we're debating every day?
That's
You
the
have
point
to have
I
a
made
budget
earlier.
before you can do that.
That's the point I made
They
earlier.
got to present one.
Okay, real quick.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say about this, or did you already say something? Did I miss it?
No, I didn't contribute anything, and honestly, we do need to invest into our infrastructure. Okay, for us to grow as a country, for our economy to grow, we need to make that investment.
I will second that, and you will get the last word. Stay tuned. Last call is next.